What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. I asked on my Discord, Instagram, and a couple other, I think maybe TikTok, some questions, to be answered for a future Q&A. And hey, we're here to do that today. I don't have two devices, so I went ahead and wrote them down with everybody that asked them. So starting off with some Discord questions. First of all, we have, if you could only display 5 comics, what would they be and why? That's from Jacob. Shout him out. He's got multiple questions on here. Man, that is hard though. As you can see, there's a lot on the wall. I would definitely keep DC Comic Presents 26 along with Secret Wars 8. 5. Man, that's tough, bruh. World's Finest, I don't think you guys could see it, but World's Finest, #1, signed by Mark Waid. I would keep that up there. I don't know. Yeah, those 3. There might be a couple more somewhere that I'm just missing, but those 3 for sure. Next up, we have, if you could reread any comic for the first time, what comic would it be and why? Shout out Jake. The first obvious answer that comes to my head is Deceased. Deceased is my favorite comic book of all time, if you didn't know that. But other than that, man, Invincible would be a great reread. Marvel-wise, probably Spider-Man Life Story. Reread that for the first time. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good one. That's a hard one. Let's see. We have, what are some comic characters you are trying to collect in only single issues? Personally, I'm trying to get all of Nightwing's, everything titled Nightwing. I'm trying to get all of that in single issues. I have a lot. The main portion I'm missing is Rebirth, so I gotta get that eventually. But other than that, man, I almost have all of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. I'm missing like 4 issues. I have all of Jeff Johns' Teen Titans. I collect Batman here and there. Superman, I've been trying to get as much Action Comics and Superman as possible. But I'm never gonna, have it all, sadly. But yeah, those, probably Nightwing, Green Lantern, Justice League. I'm trying to get everything Justice League. Anything titled Justice League in main continuity, I'm trying to get and own. So, there's your answer. Then what do we got? Moving on to the next question. The previous one and this one were both asked by the same guy. Kryptonic Man. I hope I said that right. Sick name. I think it's Kryptonic Man. His next question is, what is an iconic story you haven't read yet? An iconic story I haven't read yet. I've read pretty much everything. Batman, Superman. Let me think. Marvel. Is there any iconic Marvel I haven't read? I haven't read Hickman's Avengers. That's iconic. Or his Fantastic Four. I'm working on getting the trades, but I would say, if there's an iconic story I haven't read, it's probably Marvel. But I've read a lot of their big ones, like Secret Wars, Civil War, Infinity Gauntlet, or Infinity Saga, all that. Man, I don't know. That's a good question, but I'm not sure. Alright, next up, we got a good one. If your house was on fire and you could only save one comic run, what would it be and why? Another question from Jacob. My key box. I wouldn't save a full comic run, just my key box. Next up, another question from Jacob. In your opinion, what adaptation is most faithful to the comics? Nothing live action, sadly. I don't know why a studio can't decide to just adapt a comic into live action, bar for bar. Makes no sense to me. We as fans would love to see it, majority of us. If you don't, you're weird, I'm sorry. But with that being said, the obvious choices are Under the Red Hood and Flashpoint. I think those 2 are basically bar for bar of what the comic is. So I think those 2 would probably be my answer. Next page, still Discord questions. So if you're not in the Hall of Nerds Discord, what are you doing? Come on now. Alright, this question is from my good buddy Zane, Zenith on all socials. He asks, what 3 pieces of advice would you tell your younger self? I mean, first and foremost, as corny or ironic as it sounds, I would tell him everything's going to work out. Because eventually, you know, we all go through stuff, but everything does work out in the end if you give it time. And me personally, through the power of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Two more pieces of advice I would give my younger self. I wasn't the same person I am today going through middle school, high school, and even my freshman year of college. I would just tell my younger self to be himself, man, honestly. Like I said, I'm not the same person I used to be. And then, honestly, I would tell him to embrace his inner nerd. You know, I kind of stayed away from this aspect in those earlier years of my life, and I wish I hadn't. I read comics online, I like watched all the Marvel movies, DC, whatever, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Moving on. Great question, Zane. Moving on. We have, if you could have 5 comics right now, grails, what would they be? This is from Jababy1144 on the Discord. First appearance of Dick Grayson, first appearance of Wally West, first 3 right now, first appearance of Darkseid, first appearance of Barry Allen, and then either the first appearance of Superman or Batman. I wouldn't care which one I got. But yeah, great question. Next up, we have, what are some aspects of collecting you don't like from the Nightmare Nerd? Man, that's a good one. That's a tough one. I don't like scalpers. Resellers I'm completely fine with. I'm a reseller myself sometimes. I buy stuff, I read it, I get rid of it. I buy figures, I pose them, I put them on the shelf, I get rid of them, you know? But a scalper is a person that buys everything of one thing for themselves and goes on and resells it for double, triple, quadruple the price. So my answer is probably scalpers. Alright, what is my most controversial take from Wow, What a Nerd? I have a lot. It's not as controversial anymore, but I'll start off with Nightwing belongs with Barbara Gordon. Dick Grayson belongs with Barbara Gordon, not Starfire. It was great while it lasted. We're done. We're moved past it. It's over. Dick Grayson and Barbara should get married. I mean, this isn't a hot take either, but Spider-Man needs a new writer or, like, anything to help him. Like, Zeb Wells needs to never write another comic book. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Hot takes, or controversial take. As of recent, I'm not a variant book guy. I don't like buying variants as much as I used to. I still have certain artists I'll buy variants for. Dan Mora, David Nakayama, Jim Lee, stuff like that. The ones that I really care about and could see myself getting signed in the future. But other than that, man, I'm sticking with the A cover, and I'm only picking up one cover for that book. Because you got to keep in mind, it's the same book on the inside. The only difference is the cover. But that, I guess those are my controversial takes. Man of Steel is a shitty movie. Not comic book related, but it's a shitty movie. Along with the rest of the DCU. Alright, moving on. If you could train under one hero, who would it be, assuming you get all their tech and, you know, like what they've learned? This is from Frogger Von Frog. Good name. Funny name. Let me... Like, my obvious choice would be, like, Nightwing or Spider-Man, but let me kind of think about it for just a sec. I mean, Batman would be cool, but, like, I don't want to be Robin. You feel me? Like, I don't want to be Robin. Man, that's tough, dude. That's really tough. There's a lot of good ones. But, I mean, yeah, like, he's my favorite character. I would go Nightwing. If you had a chance to make a comic book movie, what comic would you adapt? Going back to why I don't understand why live action cannot adapt a comic book story. I don't get it. But what I would do... Dude, there's a lot of stories I could do. Personally, I'm going animation. Does it say live action? No, it just says adapt. Okay, I'm going animation, and I'm doing my favorite comic, Deceased. I think I could do the story right. I would need 5 parts because there's 5 stories and about an hour and a half each movie. I think I could kill that. All right, that was from Patter Parker, not Peter Patter. All right, guys, moving on to my Instagram questions. I posted it on my story over there. Got some responses. If you're not following the Instagram, go drop a follow, please. All right, starting off, are you ready for the kickoff of the Absolute Universe from the WebGeek18? Absolutely. DC All In was a great starting point for what's to come in the future. I'm stoked, man. Starting with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman is smart money-wise, but it's also smart reader-wise because it gets people into that universe. I'm hyped. All right, next up we have, what is your favorite DC team from Like the Realist? They're not really a team, at least I don't consider them a team, but the Titans / Teen Titans, basically like, the main ones. I view them more as a family because they feel and act more like a family, but that's my favorite team overall, easily. Next question is, what does your gym playlist look like from Yoshi Sadino? I might have butchered your name, sorry. My gym playlist is a bunch of TikTok edit sounds mashed up with David Goggins speaking on SoundCloud, if you want the honest and truth. Or I could just tell you that I listen to Don Toliver and Yeet. There you go. Boom. Next up is, who is your inspiration from Jaden Savage? Man, there's a lot, but my biggest inspiration, man, is probably my dad. My dad's just a great, hard-working guy, and I've always viewed him as my hero. So that would be my simple answer to what my inspiration is. Other than that, like comic book-wise, just Batman, Superman, Nightwing, Flash, Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, the guys that stand up for what they believe in. That's what I love. Next up, we have hopes and dreams of James Gunn's DCU, and who do I think deserves their own movie? From Jeremy White, who deserves their own movie? Nightwing, we've been talking about him all day. He deserves his own movie. Give it to him. My hopes and dreams of James Gunn's DCU is that he uses the Justice League International. And what I mean by that is having teams around the world. You have Justice League Europe, you got Justice League of America, you got all these different Justice League teams around the world. And I low-key really hope to see that in live action. I think that would be awesome. I think eventually we're going to get the full-fledged, DC universe. I think with the set photos that came out of Superman, with Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl, all in the Maxwell Lord tech, I think that is going to be very important. I think they are already Justice League International, and they're recruiting Superman, which I think is why Superman's going to be a good movie. I think he's going to be recruited by both that team and the government, and in the end, he's going to decide to be himself. So I'm so excited for what he has planned for Superman. As for the rest of the DCU, I'm super excited, but I need news on the Teen Titans, Justice League of some sort, and Batman. That's what I need news on right now. So once we get that, then I can give you a little bit more of my hopes and dreams. Great question, though. All right, next up, we got 2 questions back-to-back from Spider Gerb. First off, we have top 5 artists you listen to at the gym. Like I said, man, I don't listen to, music at the gym unless it's... I guess I listen to scores, like movie scores or movie soundtracks occasionally when I'm running or when I'm lifting heavy. But other than that, man, it's literally TikTok edit audio blasting in my headphones, like full volume and everything. And his other question is top 5 trades on your wish list. At the moment, a lot of them are Omnis. I want Mark Waid's Flash Volume 1, Green Lantern Corps Volume 1, Nightfall Volume 2 comes out in February. That's on my wish list. Nightwing by Tom Taylor Omni comes out next year, along with a Rebirth Omni and a reprinting of the New 52. It's Nightwing's year next year, man. But yeah, probably just Omnis right now. I'm not really looking for many trades. When I see them, I get them. I am looking for a lot of Daniel Warren Johnson right now. The homie Speed Sultan and the other homie Rogue Robin, aka Nate and Noah, have been hyping Daniel Warren Johnson up, so I need to get on him ASAP. I've only read Transformers by him, But man, I've been looking for Space Mullet forever and cannot find it. Great questions, great questions. Next up, we have favorite Action Comics storyline from Jedi Times SK8R92. Shout you out, man. I mean, it's a basic, obvious answer, but probably the Warworld saga, man. It's recent, but damn, dude, it's so good. I really like the recent Brainiac, like Queen arc, Brainiac, House of Brainiac with Superman and Action Comics. That was really good. But yeah, I'm getting into the older stuff, so maybe that'll change eventually. Next up, we have what inspired you to create a community that enjoys comics and comic book movies from, I don't even know how to pronounce this, slates.vfx, I think. But, like I was saying earlier, man, over the last couple of years, I've always just wanted to be on social media, and this was the best way to do so, by expressing my passion for these books, these characters, and, you know, building a community wasn't always part of the plan, I'll be honest. I just wanted to make content for people. Building a community came later, after my first account was banned. With my first account, man, like I was saying, I just kept pushing content out. I was getting a lot of money from TikTok and pushing out about 10 to 12 videos a day. Got to 53K and got banned, but we're working our way back to that. But man, I couldn't be more blessed about our community, about the Discord, about everything. It's amazing, man. We try. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for our first Q&A. If you want to see another one of these or got some other video ideas you want to see me do, let me know down below. And as always, stay safe. Peace.